now we started with this next topic over here, methods of preparation of phenols. In this particular section, we are only going to study phenols. We will study about the methods of preparation, then we will also study a little bit about the physical properties, one or two, not more, and then we will go on to the chemical properties of phenols. Then we will be left by only one part, that is the ethers. Okay? So let's go on to phenols. You know that what phenol is. Phenols, they are aromatic alcohols in which the OH that is directly attached to the nucleus of the benzene ring. So generally, agar OH is not attached to the benzene ring, then it is not known as phenol. If it is present at the side chain, it may be given certain other names like benzyl alcohol if it is attached to the side chain, or by IUPAC nomenclature it is going to be named in a different manner, which we have already studied, right? So when we are talking of phenol over here, phenol specifically is going to be this, right? This is going to be phenol. Okay, so let's go on to the methods of preparation. Phenols, that is also known as carbonic acid, okay? And it was isolated from coal tar, right? So destructive distillation of coal tar, that was how it was first isolated. Now when we are talking of methods of preparation, the first is from benzene sulfonic acid. From benzene sulfonic acid, we can prepare, first of all we have to prepare the benzene sulfonic acid, which is prepared by reacting benzene with sulfuric acid, H2SO4, and sulfur trioxide. This reaction of converting benzene into benzene sulfonic acid, this is known as sulfonation. So we have over here SO3H. This is known as benzene sulfonic acid. This is then reacted with NaOH to give us sodium compound of benzene sulfonic acid, which is known as sodium benzene sulfonate. This is benzene sulfonic acid. This is known as sodium benzene sulfonate. This is then again reacted with a molecule of NaOH when sodium sulfite, that is going to be eliminated, minus, and we are going to get sodium phenoxide, ONA, this is sodium phenoxide. This is then reacted with HCl to give us phenol plus NaCl. So this is how we are going to get phenol over here. In the first, sulfonation has to be done to form benzene sulfonic acid. Then we reacted with NaOH to give us sodium benzene sulfonate. Then again another molecule of NaOH is going to react to give us sodium phenoxide. And then with HCl it is going to give us phenol. Okay. Then the second reaction is from benzene diazonium chloride. We have already done this reaction from benzene diazonium chloride. Over here we are going to react benzene diazonium chloride with water, and we are going to warm the mixture such that we will get phenol plus N2 plus HCl. Okay. Now you know how to prepare benzene diazonium chloride. It is prepared by reacting aniline with nitrous acid. Diazotization reaction it is known as. So if we are taking aniline with nitrous acid, the reaction takes place in presence of NaCl. We have already done this reaction in haloalkanes to give us benzene diazonium chloride. Because the diazo group is being introduced, therefore this reaction, this is known as diazotization reaction. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद we go on to the third method of preparation. Third method of preparation, that is by decarboxylation of sodium salt of salicylic acid. Sodium salt of salicylic acid. Now over here we are going to take the sodium salt of salicylic acid, which is known as sodium salicylate. This is the formula of sodium salicylate. ठीक है? Now this sodium salicylate that is going to be reacted with soda lime that is NaOH in presence of calcium oxide, and we heat the reaction mixture when from here Na2CO3 that is going to be removed. Okay. Now when Na2CO3 is removed from here, then we are going to get sodium phenoxide minus Na2CO3. This sodium phenoxide that is then going to be reacted with HCl minus NaCl to give us phenol. Okay, then the next reaction is from Grignard reagent. Now Grignard reagent, oxidation of Grignard reagent is done over here. This is phenyl magnesium bromide. Okay, this is oxidation of this is done, and the reaction that is going to proceed in presence of dry ether. The purpose of dry ether is to keep the conditions dry, because the Grignard reagent that is very reactive towards water. Okay, so over here we have to keep the conditions dry such that we get over here phenyl oxy magnesium bromide. This is phenyl oxy magnesium bromide, and this in presence of water, acid hydrolysis is done to give us phenol plus NGBr and OH. Okay, so this is the reaction from Grignard reagent. Then let's go on to the commercial preparation of phenol. How phenol is prepared on large scale. So let's go on to the commercial preparation of phenol. Commercial preparation of phenol. Now when we're doing the commercial preparation of phenol, one method which we've already done, that is the dose process, where we are preparing phenols from chlorobenzene. This reaction we have done in haloalkanes. So let's repeat it again. We have over here chlorobenzene, right? Plus we are reacting this with 10% solution of NaOH. Okay, and we are going to take over here a catalyst which is a copper salt. The reaction that takes place at approximately 623 Kelvin and at a pressure of 300 atmospheres. When we are going to get sodium phenoxide which is further reacted with HCl to give us phenol. So this reaction we've already done in our previous chapter. The next, number 2, we are going to prepare it from cumene. First, cumene is isopropyl benzene. So let's first see how are we going to prepare cumene. Cumene that is prepared by reacting benzene with propene in presence of phosphoric acid at a temperature of 523 Kelvin. Okay? When we are going to get cumene. Cumene is isopropyl benzene, and if you're looking at the IUPAC name, it is 2-phenyl propane. Okay? The IUPAC name of this is going to be 2-phenyl propane. Over here we are going to do the oxidation of cumene. This is cumene. We are doing the oxidation of cumene. When we are going to get cumene hydroperoxide. Cumene hydroperoxide is this is the formula of cumene hydroperoxide. After cumene hydroperoxide has been formed, we do the hydrolysis in presence of H positive to give us phenol and acetone as the side product. Acetone over here, that is going to be the side product. Okay, so this is another method by which we can prepare phenols commercially. Then we go on to the third method from benzene. This method is known as Rashid's method. This method is known as Rashid's method. Over here we are going to first react benzene with HCl in presence of oxygen from the air or in presence of air. Okay. Now over here we are going to take two catalysts. We can take CuCl2 and FeCl3, which are going to catalyze the reaction or which can also behave as halogen carriers. The reaction takes place at 500 Kelvin. Okay. So over here we are going to get 2-chlorobenzene, 2 molecules of chlorobenzene plus water. So once you get the chlorobenzene in the first step, in the second step we can hydrolyze the chlorobenzene which we have formed in the first step, and the reaction that will take place in presence of silicon dioxide at a temperature of 800 Kelvin. Okay? This is going to give us phenol plus HCl. So these are the methods of preparation. Now when we are doing the properties of phenols, one of the common properties is solubility. We will see that when we are doing the resonating structures, or even then if you are looking at the structure of phenol, which we have already done, if you are looking at the structure of phenol, over here you can see that this is going to be a polar molecule because of electronegativity difference between oxygen and hydrogen. Because of the polarity, it is seen that the phenol is soluble in water. It's quite miscible in water because it has a tendency to form hydrogen bonds with water, and also it has higher boiling point. Now the higher boiling point is also because of the fact that it has a tendency to form hydrogen bonds with water. Okay, so these are the two important physical properties which you should know. Miscibility is due to hydrogen bonding it forms with water, or if you're talking of solubilities, of the boiling points are also higher because of the fact that it has a tendency to form hydrogen bonds with water. Okay, then let's go on to the chemical properties of phenols. There are three types of reactions which we are going to study over here. The first type of reactions, they are the reactions of the phenolic group. The phenolic group over here is the OH group which is going to be present. So over here it is seen that again hydrogen phenol that has a tendency to lose the hydrogen. So this is going to show us the acidic character of phenols. Okay, now phenols, they are very weakly acidic in nature. They have a Ka value of approximately 10 raised to power minus 10, which shows that they are weak acids. Now over here, because of its weak acid character, it has a tendency to react with reactive metals to liberate hydrogen. So all the acids, they have a tendency to liberate hydrogen when they are reacting with metals, with active metals. So if it is reacting with sodium over here, it is going to give us sodium phenoxide plus hydrogen. ठीक है? Similarly, if you are reacting this with sodium hydroxide, this is going to give us sodium phenoxide plus water. This reaction is a neutralization reaction, acid plus base to give us salt plus water. Okay, now because phenol is a weak acid, it does not react with sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. Does not react with sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate, and the acidic character of phenol, that is due to the following reasons. The acidic character of phenol, that is why does it has a tendency to liberate hydrogen over here, is due to the following reasons. Number one, the OH group which is present, that is polar in nature. Polar means that over here oxygen that is going to be electronegative and hydrogen is going to be electropositive. So the electrons, they are attracted towards oxygen, as a result of which hydrogen can be easily released. Okay. Then number two, it is seen that in case of phenols, if we take looking at the structure of phenols over here, this is the structure. This carbon atom over here, this is going to be sp2 hybridized. Okay. Now the O that is directly attached to the sp2 hybridized carbon atom of the benzene ring, as you can see in the structure. So this benzene ring, this is an electron withdrawing group, which means that if there are two lone pair of electrons which are present, this has a tendency to withdraw the electrons towards itself. Now because of this withdrawal of electrons, the electron density on oxygen that will decrease, isn't it? Because benzene क्या कर रही है, उसको electrons को अपनी तरफ को खींच रही है, उसकी वजह से oxygen के ऊपर क्या होगा, electron density जो है वो कम हो जाएगी. ओके, अब अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन डेंसिटी कम हो जाती है ऑक्सीजन के बीच में, तो वो पोलैरिटी को इंक्रीज कर देगी. राइट? अगर वो पोलैरिटी इंक्रीज होती है तो जो ये वाला बॉन्ड है ये वीक हो जाता है, और ये अगर वीक होएगा तो हाइड्रोजन दैट कैन बी इजीली रिलीज्ड. ठीक है? सो दैट इज अनदर इंक्रीज पोलैरिटी. क्या करेगा? आयोनाइजेशन को इंक्रीज करेगा. आयोनाइजेशन अगर इंक्रीज होगी तो H positive can be easily removed, and hence this shows the acidic character of phenol. Have you understood what is happening? Okay, यहाँ पे जो ये वाला कार्बन एटम है, this is sp2 hybridized. Because this is sp2 hybridized, this is highly electronegative. क्योंकि ये highly electronegative है, ये इन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को अपनी तरफ को खींच लेगा. अगर इसने अपने इन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को अपनी तरफ को खींच लिया, ऑक्सीजन के ऊपर इलेक्ट्रॉन डेंसिटी कम हो गई. ऑक्सीजन के ऊपर इलेक्ट्रॉन डेंसिटी कम होगी तो पोलैरिटी इन दोनों के बीच में इंक्रीज हो जाएगी. पोलैरिटी इंक्रीज होगी तो आयोनाइजेशन इंक्रीज हो गई. आयोनाइजेशन इंक्रीज हो जाएगी तो हाइड्रोजन को हम इजीली रिमूव कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. सो दिस एक्सप्लेन्स द what it is going to explain the acidic character of phenols. Why phenols they behave as acids. It is also seen that phenols are better acids than alcohols. Right? Now why this is happening? It is seen that when we looking at phenol, the acidic character is due to release of the H positive ion from here, such that it gives us phenoxide ion plus H positive. This is known as the phenoxide ion. You can see that the reaction over here is reversible. So if the products are stable, the reaction will go in the forward direction. ठीक है? It is seen that the phenoxide ion that is stabilized or it is resonance stabilized. Let's go on to the resonating structures. So when we looking at the resonating structures of phenoxide ion, this is the phenoxide ion. यहाँ से these electrons will shift over here. These electrons they are going to shift over here such that negative charge you can see is going to be dispersed in the entire benzene ring. So this goes over here. This is going to be the next structure. ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद ये यहाँ चला जाएगा, ये यहाँ चला जाएगा. And the final structure which we are going to get over here is going to be this. Now over here, according to, if you're looking at structure number 3, 4, if you're looking at structure number 2, 3 and 4. Okay, in structure number 2, 3 and 4, they are going to have what? The negative charge dispersed in the benzene ring. Because this negative charge is being dispersed on the benzene ring, it is going to make the molecule or the this ion of phenoxide much stable. So if this ion is stable, the reaction that is going to go to the forward direction and H positive that can be easily removed. But when we are looking at alcohols, in case of alcohols, this is going to break into alkoxide ion plus H positive. This alkoxide ion is not resonantly stabilized. Okay, so the reason why phenols are better acids than alcohols is that the phenoxide ion is more stable than alkoxide ion due to resonance. ठीक है? Due to resonance, hence the release of H positive ion becomes easier. Release of H positive ions become easier as the reaction proceeds in the forward direction in case of phenols. Right? Now what will happen if there are substituents present on the ring? What is going to be the effect? So let's see that if there are substituents apart from the phenolic group, there are other substituents which are present at the ring, how they are going to affect the acidic character. Now what will happen? You know that there are two types of substituents which are present. One which is electron withdrawing group and the other one that is going to be electron donating group. If it is an electron withdrawing group, then what it will do? It is going to disperse this negative charge. Right? If you're looking at the resonating structures of phenol, this we've done for the phenoxide ion. In a similar manner, we can also draw resonating structures for phenol. Okay, so जब phenol की हम draw करेंगे, in a similar manner, the negative charge will come at the ortho and the para position. So electron withdrawing groups क्या करने वाले हैं? If there are the negative charge that is dispersed in the benzene ring. This is the phenolic group over here. The electron withdrawing groups, they are going to withdraw electrons from the benzene ring, thereby dispersing the negative charge more and making the phenol more stable. Phenoxide ion will become more stable. Okay? So we're looking at the phenoxide ion over here. It will become more stable due to presence of electron withdrawing groups. If it will become more stable, then this reaction will proceed forward, isn't it? So if this reaction is going to proceed forward, the electron withdrawing groups such as nitro, cyano, halogens, they are going to increase the acidic character of phenol. And it is also seen that if these are present at the para position, the effect is maximum. The effect is going to be maximum. On the other hand, if electron donating groups are present, they are going to increase the electron density on the benzene ring, making phenoxide ions unstable. Okay? So electron donating groups such as alkyl group, amine group and alkoxy group, these are going to decrease the acidic strength. So if we're looking at, if you get a trend question, then you need to remember that para-nitrophenol that is going to be more acidic, in fact the most acidic, then orthonitrophenol, then metanitrophenol, right? And finally it is going to be phenol. So electron withdrawing groups, they are going to increase the acidic strength, whereas the electron donating groups, they are going to decrease the acidic strength. So generally you get in competitions, you will get a question like this. Okay, and this is important. They will give you the trends, various trends, and from that you have to take the correct choice. So you need to remember that all the electron withdrawing groups, they are going to increase the acidic strength, whereas electron donating groups, they are going to decrease the acidic strength. So this is the first reaction, that is phenols as acids. Let's go on to the second reaction. The second reaction over here is action with zinc dust. This reaction we've already done. where phenol that is going to be reduced to benzene. We heat the mixture, when we will get benzene and zinc oxide, right? Then the third reaction is reaction with ammonia. This is going to give us aniline. NH3, the reaction that takes place in presence of anhydrous zinc chloride at 675 Kelvin. When we will get aniline, aminobenzene, right? Then the next reaction which we are going to do, that is acetylation reaction. Acetylation reaction is introduction of an acetyl group. Acetyl group is COCH3 group. So over here we are going to react it with acyl chlorides. The reaction takes place in presence of pyridine. When the acetyl group is going to be attached at the ortho position. Okay, and then a rearrangement can take place over here. Which is going to give us acetophenone. Okay, so this is the reaction, acetylation reaction, that is introduction of an acetyl group. Now over here, if you're doing the acetylation of phenol, it is giving us acetophenone. But if you're doing the acetylation of salicylic acid, this is going to give us aspirin. This is a very, very important reaction. From your examination point of view, it is going to give us an analgesic, which is aspirin. So how do we bring about the reaction? Salicylic acid is COOH and OH. This is going to be salicylic acid. We are reacting this with acetic anhydride. This is acetic anhydride. When we are going to get acetyl salicylic acid, acetylation of this group is going to take place over here. So we are getting over here OCOCH3. This is acetyl salicylic acid, or it is known as aspirin. So you may get a formula based question on this. What is the structure of aspirin? Or you can also get how do you make aspirin from phenol. So to make aspirin from phenol, first you have to convert phenol into salicylic acid. After that you do the acetylation by reacting it with, either you can react it with CH3COCl, but mostly we reacted with acetic anhydride to give us aspirin, right? Now there is another reaction over here which is known as the Freeze rearrangement. Freeze rearrangement. This is when we are looking at phenyl acetate or acetophenone. Phenyl acetate or acetophenol, when we react this in presence of AlCl3 and we heat it, we get orthohydroxy acetophenone. This is phenyl acetate. We are going to get orthohydroxy acetophenone and para-hydroxyacetophenone. Okay, so this is Freese rearrangement. We are converting phenyl acetate into orthohydroxyacetophenone and para-hydroxyacetophenone. Okay, then the fifth reaction which we are going to do, that is Schotten-Baumann reaction. Fifth reaction is action of benzyl chloride. This is known as Schotten-Baumann reaction. In your competitions, you generally get these type of questions. Which of the following is Schotten-Baumann reaction? Okay, so over here we are going to do the benzylation of phenol OH plus C6H5COCl. This is benzoyl chloride. We are reacting this in presence of a base. So we are taking over here NaOH and we will get phenyl benzoate. This is phenyl benzoate. Okay, and plus HCl. This similar kind of reaction we have also done with alcohols. Schotten-Baumann reaction. Right? Then the last reaction which we are doing over here, that is reaction with Grignard reagent. So we have C6H5OH, this is alcohol. We are reacting this with CH3 NGI. When we are going to get over here CH4 methane plus, we will get a compound of magnesium which is MgOC6H5 and iodine. Right? So these are a few of the reactions of the phenolic group. The second type of reactions which we are going to do, they are reactions of the benzene ring.